Nandini, Nandini, are you there? Nandini. Hello. Yeah, anybody is there? Hello. Yeah, Naveen. Okay, you are in my group. Good evening, all. Can you hear me? Please do respond. Can you hear me? Just say yes, sir, in comments, please, if you are able to hear me. Yeah, Meghna, good evening. Padmini, yes, sir, thank you. Balaji, thank you. Naveen, thank you. Meghna, thank you. Yeah, yeah, I hope my voice is clear to you. Fine, fine. Thank you. And I hope there are very less number of participants. Mm, yeah, thank you, Deepika. Yeah, Nandini, if you are there, please just let me know. Shall we start or we'll wait for someone, some more people to join? Just only 21 there. Just only 21 there. Just only 21 there. Only 21 there. 27 are there. Twenty-six are there. We'll start in a while. Yeah, please, dear students, ask your friends to join fast if anybody is looking to join. Please do ask your friends to join fast. 30 are there. Just 30 join. 29 dropping. Okay, Nandini, shall we start? Yes, please. Shall we start? Nandini, give me a confirmation. It's almost 12 minutes.
Please start, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Uh, Good evening, all. So I welcome you for this intensive training for TCS NQT training sessions. And today we will be starting with a technical content. So as per the day one or orientation sessions content, I hope everybody is clear with the pattern of exam and how they are going to test your skills in which areas and everything we have discussed in the orientation session. And when it is comes to coding round, so let me share my screen also. Yeah, just please confirm me. Can you see my screen? Please give me a confirmation. Can you see my screen? If yes, just comment in the saying that sharing, sir. Is my screen is sharing to you? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Fine. So you can check this was a presentation I have used. So on the day one, yeah. So these are the few details that we discussed in the orientation session. Who can apply for this and who are eligible for this and everything, and what are the positions they are looking for. Ninja profile, digital profile, and prime profile that we have seen. Just we discussed all these in the last orientation session, and this was the exam pattern. And yesterday we started with the part one foundation section, which comprises of this non-technical content, numerical ability, verbal ability, and reasoning ability. And today we will be starting with advanced coding sessions, and I hope the entire plan day wise schedule has been posted in the Telegram channel, and I request everyone to go through that. Okay, and today we will be starting with this technical session, and I request everyone uh, to go with your preferred programming language for solving coding content, right? So actually in TCS NQT test, let me connect my tab. Yeah. I hope my screen is still sharing with you. Yes. Now in TCS coding round, there will be three questions. There will be three coding questions, which takes 90 minutes duration. 90 minutes. So We can take like it is a shared time. It is a shared time, which means that you can utilize 1 hour time for solving one problem, another 30 minutes for solving uh, rest of the two. That you can do. And there is no something like cutoff. There is no something like cutoff. So one can solve one question, or one can solve two questions, or another can solve three questions. It depends on you, right? It is not like if you solve one question you will be getting qualified, or only two need to be solved. It is not like that. There is no something like cutoff. So based on the overall performance, they will filter for the different profiles. Okay, so if we consider the coding rounds, it's an advanced coding round, and everything will be tested against to the performance of your code. So let me tell you the few things about this coding round. Usually they will allow any programming language, any programming language to solve the questions, any programming language to solve the questions, right? And you can use completely shared time. Okay, and you need to write in their own IDE. That means TCS platform we are going to use. Right, of course it is using another third party platform, right? So but it is a complete online test, and you need to submit that questions in the online only. It's like something like a competitive coding, online competitive coding, something like that. Okay, and here during our training sessions, during our training sessions, we are going to work with C++ coding, C++ coding. So actually we can solve using C, you can solve by using Java, you can also prefer Python, right? Perl or JS and so on. We can use a lot of options, right? So but I strongly recommend do not use a Python. So other day in our Telegram channel also I mentioned to solve the problems or assessments without using Python. So the reason here is why I do not recommend using Python is actually I'm a lover of Python. So it becomes very simple for writing the code, but the TCS platform does not properly works with the Python interpretation. So usually I do not recommend using Python and Perl. So these two languages are not properly working in the TCS NQT platform. And this is a feedback we got from the various students who are already attempted uh, TCS NQT test, right? So to be in a safe side, I recommend that do not go for Python. So go with any other programming language. You can choose C++, you can choose Java, or you can choose C. So anything is fine. So if you are in the worst case, I cannot go with any other programming language, I know only Python. So then you can go, but it is a safer side if you go with any other programming language. So because a lot of participants in the past, they said that Python code was executing in other platforms properly, but the same code was not executing in the TCS NQT platform. Of course that platform supports Python, but the feedback is like it is not properly working. So I recommend to use a C++. Like we go with the C++ because as we all know, C++ is more faster than any other programming languages. So C++ is executes more faster, right? And so we are selecting C++ for writing the code. And those who do not have C++ background or C++ knowledge, so I request please go through some basic content of C++, and we will be covering from the basics also a little bit, right? But we more focus on practical coding, that means problem solving. Okay, and another point I want to inform to you is, second point I want to inform to you is, when you are in the TCS NQT coding round, do not compile, do not compile, do not compile your code, do not compile your code again and again, right? Because the reason here is, when you compile every time, when you compile every time, it is going to take around 20 seconds to 30 seconds of time for compilation. And on an average, it will take around 20 seconds to 30 seconds of time for compilation, right? So that time you can utilize for writing the code. So when you want to compile, when you are completed the entire code and you recheck it, then you go through like, I'm confident on this code, then you go for compilation. So of course you can compile the code for as many number of times as you want, but it is recommended that you use less number of compilations, because unnecessarily it kills the time, it will kill the time. So because it is taking 20 to 30 seconds of time for completing the compilation of a single program. Okay, so this the few tips we need to keep in your mind when you are writing the code. Okay, so let's see how we can begin with this coding round, right? And what are the contents that we need to cover? And I hope you got this. Let me take my telegram channel. Yeah, so you might have got the schedule also. Is the schedule is posted here? I don't think so. Let me check, let me check. Yeah, so as per the schedule, so today we will be covering very basic contents like, let me share my screen again. Yeah, I will be covering a topic like operators, and then control statements, control statements, and a little bit about arrays and strings. Okay, so statements. Yeah. So the operators and the control statements concepts are really, really important for any coding rounds, for any problem solving. The concept of operators and the control statements are really, really important. So I will give some little insights of these two these two topics, and then we start solving some problems which are really asked in the TCS NQT in the past, which we can solve by using these control statements and operators concept itself. Okay, so let's first look into how the operators and the control statements will work, right? So let me take I'm using a Xcode IDE, right? Let me create a new project here. Command line project. You can go with any IDE for C++. Now let me take TCS NQT YouTube. Yeah. So this is the project name I'm giving. Let me share this. Let me save this on the desktop. Yeah, fine. Okay. So it is just creating that. Fine. Yeah. Yeah. Let me go for creating this one command line. Yeah. Tools. Yeah. Product name is day one or day two. Sorry. And I'll be writing in C++. Yeah. So it generates with some predefined code. Let me remove all these. Let me remove all these. Just I wanted to increase the font size. Let me increase the font size. Settings. Default. Where is the font size? Yeah, this is fine, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I hope and everybody can see the screen, right? So in C++, so this is the general program structure. Okay, and to perform IO operations in C++, let's first work on this basically IO operations. So to perform this IO operations, we use the first one, output operation. So output operation is performed by using C out greater than, and then we write the message to be displayed and semicolon. So this is the syntax for using output operation and input operation. For input operation, we use an overloaded operator C in this, and we specify the variable name into which you want to read the value, right? And that can be of any data type. That can be of any data type, right? And here, this we also have another, like if you want to directly display variable value, so simply we use C out the variable name. Simply we use the variable name so that it will print that variable data value in the output screen, right? So let's test that. Here we write C out. Let's say, just I will say that hello YouTube, sorry, hello YouTube, something like this, and the semicolon, right? So now you can see here, when we are trying to use simply directly C out statement here, so it does not recognize the C out keyword, C out term, because the C++ uses something called namespace. So all these terms are defined under a name called std. So to resolve this, we have two options. One is simply you can use std colon colon, right? And this is known as scope resolution operator. Colon colon symbol is the scope resolution operator, and std is the name of a namespace. That means this is called as namespace, and this is known as scope resolution operator. Scope resolution operator, right? So we are using this C out, which is defined under the namespace called std, uh, std. So with that scope, we are using this C out. So this is one alternate we have, right? So but instead of, like, for example, let's say if I write one more statement, C out. So again I need to use for the same std colon colon. That means every time we use these terms, we have to use this colon colon. Let's say if I want to use C in, so that is also not directly acceptable. That's also not directly acceptable, because again we have to use std colon colon for this. So instead of using like this, what we can do is directly we can specify that using namespace std in a single statement. That means just we are telling to the compiler that we are using a namespace called std in this particular program. So in that cases, what happens is whenever we use some term, predefined term, then it automatically checks does it defined in this namespace or not. If it is defined in this namespace, then it will recognize that from that namespace. So now I can start using C out, C in directly without using this std colon colon symbol. Right? Now let me check. So is it producing the output or not? Yeah. Now let me run this and check the result. Yeah, build succeed. That means it is successfully built that code, and you can see I got my output as hello YouTube. Yes, I got the output as hello YouTube. Okay, so what I will do is after that it is giving this program ended with some exit code 0, and to just get a clear output screen, right? Just I will write C out, and I will print two empty lines. So for that I use just like this. Now if I run this, now you can see, yes, now I'm getting a clear output here. Hello YouTube. Okay, fine. So from this program onwards, in every program I'm going to use this two default lines. So just it is for creating a gap after my output. That's it. Okay, then fine. So we use a C out and C in, C out and C in for performing IO operations, right? And I hope you everybody knows how to create a variable, how to create variables, right? So for creating variables, simply we use a data type space a variable name, and then we add with some value. We initialize it with some value, but it's optional. It's optional. So adding this value is an optional thing. Okay, so now let's see if I want to create a variable of integer. Let's say integer a equals to some 10. Yes, we can create like this, right? And let's say in some b equals to some 20. Yes, we create. And now let's say I want to display this output, display this ab values. Simply we use C out a, so that it will print, it prints the output. Now you can see 10 is the output, and it is giving a warning message because we have not used a b, right? So we will do that. Let's say I will write, I'll also print b, I'll also print b. Now you check the result. Yes, build successful, but you can see they are printing in the same line. If I want to print them in a separate line, what I need to do is, that means it will start printing. See, out statement will start printing from the current position of the cursor. For example, now if I'm trying to print, see out, if I'm trying to print some 100, now where this 100 is going to be printed, just next to this 0, because my cursor is here. So from this position, it will start printing next 100. You can see, yes, my result is this one. So what I can do is, let me add one more keyword here, something called end line. So C++ provides a keyword called end line, which is equal to the a new line symbol, which is equal to the new line symbol, right? That means after printing the value of A, then we are pushing my cursor to the next line, so that the next printing will start from the next line. Now you can see, after printing A value, that is 10, then it will move, the cursor to the next line, then 20 will start printing from the next line, then 100 immediately it prints after the 20. Right now you can check. So 10 is printed in the separate line. Now let's say after B value also I want to print another new line. Yes, just add that. Now you can see, if I run this, I will get 10, 20, 100 and all are in the separate lines. Okay, so this is how we are going to use end line, right? And this is very much equal to adding a new line symbol, something like this. So both are same, both are same. You'll get the same output. Okay, so this is how we create variables, and we can do this. And let's say here we are printing a static values assigned to this A and B, and that we are printing. No, I want to read it from the user. So for reading, it is very simple. Just we use cin, and just you specify the variable names, right? And you can read each variable value in a separate lines, separate statements. Okay, so now you can see, if I run this, now my cursor is waiting for the first input value, which is stored into the A. Let's say I'll give 11, right? And now it is waiting for the second input value, which is stored into the B. Let's give 22, right? So now you can see, A value is assigned as 11 and B value is assigned as 22, and 100 directly that is printing. We are directly printing it. Okay, yes, now it is again waiting. Let's give 100 for A and 200 for B. Yes, A, B values it is printing. So this is a simple reading operation, right? And you can read them in a separate lines, but you can also combine them into a single line. And one more point I want to give here is, whenever you run this, you are need to enter the values. So that values can be entered in a single line, separating with the spaces. For example, let's say 100 space 200. Now it will properly assign into A and B. Or else you can enter the values in the two separate lines like this. So I wanted to tell here is, the reading operation terminates with either a space or enter, right? So both are considered for the termination of the reading. Okay, and you can also read multiple values in a single cin statement. Like here, instead of using this, simply you can mention, you also read B like this. You can mention as many as you want, reading in a single line. Okay, now let's read, let's execute this. Let us give the same 100, 200. Yes, they are properly reading, right? And let me give in the same line. So 11, 22. Yes, they are properly reading, right? And this is how we read, and it does not matter the data type of the variables which we are reading. If they are characters, it will read character. If they are float, it will read float. If they are integers, read integers, right? So no need to worry about the data type of the variables while you are reading. Okay, it also accepts strings. Okay, and so here we are just printing a variable value directly. Let's say I also want to mention something like A equals to, that means I want my output something like A equals to, and its value, whatever the value that we enter, right? So but how do I get this content? So this is directly printed with this A, but what about this? So this is where what we do is, just let me write that statement from the scratch. So just we use out, and initially it has to start printing a string value, which is something like A equals space equals to space. And after that, if you want print a variable value, again just use the same less than symbol, and you mention the variable name, and then end line. That's it. Right? Now similarly, for b, let's use b equals to, and after that this. Now you run this. Now let us give the input as 10 and 20. Now you can see a equals to 10 and b equals to 20. So this is just an introduction to the IO operations and how to work with the variables, reading data and displaying the data of variables. Okay, now let's get into the actual content, that is operators. So operators is one of the most important topic for any problem solving, right? And I hope everybody knows that the operators concept we have. So there are different type of operators, starting from arithmetic operators, assignment operators, relation operators, logical operators, bitwise operators, right? All those operators we have. So but usually I recommend, please go through uh, arithmetic operators thoroughly, right? And especially in the arithmetic operators, what do we have? A plus, minus, asterisk, division, and modulus. So in this, working with these two operators are very important, very important. Okay, so working with plus, just a mathematical addition operation, mathematical subtraction operation, mathematical multiplication, and division, and remainder. Okay, and apart from this, I also request you to go with bitwise operators in detail. So in the bitwise operators, we have bitwise and, bitwise or, bitwise exclusive or, bitwise complement, and left shift, then right shift. So bitwise operators is also very important operators concept. So using these, we are going to solve a lot of problems. Using these, we are going to solve a lot of problems, right? So I hope everybody knows about all these operators, right? And apart from these, we also have operators like, we have assignment operators, right? So under this, we have operators like equal to, plus equals to, minus equals to, asterisk equals to, and so on, right? And there are relational operators, and those operators are less than, greater than, less than or equals to, greater than or equals to, equal to, and not equals to, right? And we also have operators like logical operators, which are basically used for combining multiple conditions into one condition, and logical and, logical or, right, and logical not, right? And in C++, the logical and operation can also be used as if and word, English word, and we can also use or, right? And we also have a conditional operator. So conditional operator, there is only one conditional operator, that is question mark colon, so which is also very useful one. Okay, so these are the few operator categories which are very important for problem solving. Okay, So let's get into this. I hope everybody knows how these operators are working, right? So, but I wanted to tell some few things here, like how do we use these concepts? How do we use these concepts, right? So, I hope we are going very smooth. Yeah, yeah. Please, just I will give a little pause. Just let me know. Is everything is going proper? Is everything is going proper? Prabhu Vijay. Yeah, please give me a confirmation. Is everything is going properly? Did you understand what I was telling to you? Like how to use see out, see in, and everything? Yeah, please give me a confirmation. Just yeah, Sunil, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Meghana. Yeah, so let's move on to a more practical coding thing. So we just now discussed almost everybody knows whatever this content that we have discussed, but now let's see how actually we are going to utilize these concepts in practical. So just I wanted to give few insights of this. Let's say how does this division will be useful, and how does this modulus will be useful, right? So for example, let's say the nature of these is, let's say if I take some a equals to some value 10 and b equals to some value 3, and if I do a divided by b, a divided by b, so it is going to become 10 divided by 3, and the answer is something we will write. Okay, and if I do a modulus b, right? So 10 modulus 3 will give a different result. So both are not same. So in both the cases, actually it will perform a division operation with the 3. It performs a division operation with the 3. And here what happens is, when I divide 10 with the 3, so 3 3s are 9, and I'll get 1 as a remainder. 1 as a remainder. So this is the result of the division operator, and this is the result of modulus operator. Okay, so that means here I will get the answer as 3, right? And here I will get the answer as 1, right? So the modulus always will give a remainder, always gives a remainder, right? And this always will give coefficient. Okay, and here this is a really a beautiful concept here. For example, let's say you have given a value n, an integer, let's say 123. Now from this I want to remove the last digit. I want to remove the last digit. So my task is remove last digit. Remove last digit of n. So then what we can do? Guess what we can do? Yeah, please tell me how we can do this. If I want, if I want to remove the last digit of n, how we can remove? How we can remove? please. Oh yeah, 10 modulus. 10 modulus. Fine. Yes. Modulo 10. Yes. So whenever we do 123 divided with the 10, right? So 10 12s are 120 and you'll get 3 as a remainder, right? And see, the beauty of this is after removing last digit. After removing last digit. And this is the last digit itself. This is last digit itself, right? And you see the result of division symbol is this one, and this one is the result of modulus, right? So actually it is not with the modulus. So if you want to remove, you have to do division. Division with 10. Modulus will give the last digit. Modulus will give the last digit, right? I'm asking to remove the last digit. So from 123, if I remove the last digit, I will get 12 as a result. I'll get 12 as a result, right? So here just try to understand this with this example. Yeah. Now let me write here. Let me take a variable int n and read that int value from the user, and then I want to remove that. So what I will do, n divided by 10, and store the answer back into the n itself. Now let me display. Yeah, let's use semicolon here. Yeah, let me display the output. Let me display the output. So let's say n equals to, yeah, n equals to n value, and after that just let me print a new line. Right now let me run this. Now it will wait for the n value. Let us give 123. Now you can see my answer is 12. That means now we are removing. Now this operation removes last digit. It removes the last digit. That means whenever we divide any number with the 10, it removes the last digit, right? For example, let's say if I write 100, division with the 100, removes last two digits. It removes last two digits. Okay, with 1000, removes the last three digits. With 10,000, removes the four last digits, right? So the division operation with multiples of 10 will keep on removing from the last. From the last, it removes, right? So that means from n, it removing that value. Okay. Now let's say I want to display the last value, last digit itself, right? For example, let's say I want to print the last digit. So let me take a simple variable last digit. So directly you can also print it, no issue, right? So I'll take n modulus with the 10, and modulus with the 10 will print the last digit. Will print the last digit. So last digit equals to, let me take the variable last digit. Now run this. You give any number as input, let's say like this. Now it is going to be 5 is the last digit. 5 is the last digit, right? Now you can see. Now I want to get the remaining. So last digit and remaining part I want. So for that what I can do, n divided by 10. N divided by 10. Now you can see. Now you can see. Just let me print the remaining here. Now you can check. You give any number, so it will split that number into last digit and the remaining part. Right now, let me give like this, and the last digit is 5, and the remaining part is 234. 234. Okay, so this is how we can use a modulus and a division operator, right? And this is the key for working with individual digits of a number. So almost all the problems which are involved with working on the individual digits of a number, right, is involved with these two operators. Right? For example, let's say I want to reverse a number. I want to check whether number is a palindrome or not, whether Armstrong or not. I want to find the sum of all the digits or the product of all the digits. I want to reverse the digits. Like a lot of problems will be asked where you need to work with individual digits of the numbers. Individual digits of the numbers. Right? So in such cases, so this division operator and this are very, very, very important, right? And that means this is how you split the numbers or the digits of a number. This is how we split the digits of a numbers, right? And if you want to know, if you want to know how many digits are there in a given number, tell me, how do I find total number of digits in a given number? Anyone, please? Yes, please. Anyone? I want to know. Let's say, let's type code here. Given, given an integer, n, find the number of digits in it. So how do we do this? Use count. That means we use a looping statement and we use the counting. Yes, please. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Sunil, it's really nice. So actually what we can do is, if you consider, if you consider the logarithmic values, just if you consider the logarithmic values, the log value of all the numbers from 0 to 9, 0 to 9 is going to be, is going to be 0 point something, 0 point something. That means a log value, log n base 10. If I calculate log n base 10 value for all the n values, for all the n values 0 to 9, the value is going to be 0 point something. And for all the values from 10 to 99, the value is going to be 1 point something, the 1 point something. And for all the values from 100 to 999, it is going to be 2 point something. It is going to be 2 point something. And for all the numbers from 1000 to 9999, it is going to be 3 point something. That means you observe the pattern here. You observe the pattern here. Single digit numbers 0 point something, two digits numbers 1 point something, three digits numbers 2 point something, four digits numbers 3 point something, right? So that means there is a link with the number of digits in the n of its logarithmic value. So it's always the total number of digits minus 1. The total number of digits minus 1 of floor value, right? So if the my n value is, if my n value is, let's say, log 8 base 10, so this is going to be something like 0 point something. So what we can do is, from this we will just extract only 0 and we will add 1 to it, so that I will get number of digits, so that I'll get number of digits. So it is not required to use a looping statement, right? With a single statement we can find total number of digits, right? And how do we calculate the log value? How do we calculate the log value, right? And in almost all the popular programming languages, the log value is directly calculated. That means every programming language provides a built-in function for calculating the log value. Right now, let's say, let me take here a C out. Let's say log value. Yeah, you can take log base 2 something base d log 10. Yeah, you take log 10 of n, log 10 of n, right? So now let's keep giving n value, right? And then you check the log 10 value, right? Let's run this and check. If I give 123, the answer should be, it's a 3-digit number, so the answer should be 2 point something. Now you can see it is 2.08991. Let's give another number. Let's give 12, right? It's a 2-digit number, so that answer will be 1 point something. Yes, you give any other number, let's say like this, it's a 4-digit number, so the answer is going to be 3 point something, right? Now tell me, from this how do I remove this part? From this, how do I remove this part? That means from this, I want to remove this fraction part. I want to remove this fraction part. So it is 3.65 something we have, right? So this is completely a float value. Actually, it is a double value here. It is a double value. So if I convert this double into integer, then it will take only the integer part and it will ignore this part. So I can use a integer typecasting, so that I'll get only this part, right? Now you can, let's see here. Let's see if I write typecasting, typecast it to integer, right? So now you give a number. Now you give a number, let's say like random number, it is 5-digit number, so the answer is 4. Yes, right? You give something like 6, so it is single digit number, so the answer is 0, because actual log value is 0 point something, but we are converting that into integer, so that it will take only the integer part. Okay, and now let me run this again. Let's give some a 3-digit number. Yes, the answer is 2. Now you can see it's simplified. Now you can find total number of digits in a number just by adding 1. So log value converted to the integer and plus 1 will give the total number of digits in a given number. Right now, let's check. Now let us give this 4-digit number. Answer is 4, because there are 4 digits. Now if I give 56, 2 digits. If I give 8, a single digit. If I give this 5 digits, yes. So this is a shortcut, so which is very very useful in the coding rounds, right? And this is supported in all the platforms, right? So simply you can use, that means Python has log values built-in function, Java has log values built-in function, C has a built-in function, C++ has built-in function for finding the log values. So this is another shortcut for finding the number of digits in a number, in a given number, right? And why I'm telling this is, so this is another trick for performing appending of two numbers, right? So I strongly recommend you to learn these tricks: extracting last digit, right? Then removing last digit, and appending appending two numbers, appending two numbers, right? So appending two numbers is also very 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 important. So these three tricks are very much required for working with problems asked on the number system, right? So for this, what do we use? Yeah, for this, just extracting last digit, what should I do? Yes, if I want to get the last digit, what should I do? That number modulus with the 10 will give the last digit. And what about this? How do I remove the last digit? That number division with the 10 will remove the last digit. But what about this? Anybody? Appending two numbers. Let's say I have two numbers here. Let's say I have two numbers. Let's say A is something like 12 and B is something like 60. Now I want to append B to A. Append B to A. So my answer should become 1260. 1260. Right? Understood? Tell me, how do I do that? How do I do that? Yeah, only Sunil is answering. Sunil and Pavan. What about remaining? Please be active. Be active. Tell me, how do I append two numbers? Once you're done with this, just I will brush up control statements and then we start solving some problems. Right? We left with 1 more hour. Yeah, please. How do I append two numbers? How do we append two numbers? Anyone, please? How do I append? How to append two numbers? Anyone? No? Yeah. Let's try to understand with the same example. Let's try to understand with the same example. Let's say I have a number 12 and I want to append 60. Right? So can I use simply A plus B for appending? No, it does not work. So if I do A plus B, it becomes 72. The answer is 72. So, but I want to append. So for that, what actually I can do is, for which number you want to append. So here for 12 you want to append. So take 12 and make the number of zeros in the number of digits in the appending value. Now here 60 I want to append, it has two digits. It has two digits, so make two zeros here and then add that value here. Now you can see I will get 0, 6, 2, 1. Now this will become append operation. Right? So that means how do I get these two zeros for the 12? So that is simple. 2 into 100. 2 into 100 will give 1200 plus 60 will give 1260. So which is properly appending this A and B. Okay, and again here what this is actually, it is 10 to the power 10 to the power number of digits. You can check number of digits. So in 60 how many digits we have? Two digits, so it is 10 power 2. So 10 power 2 is 100. Right? So can I write a formula for appending? So how do I append? So I need to append first number multiplied with 10 to the power number of digits in the appending number, right? So that means if I take A and B as an example, let's say A into 10 power number of digits in B plus B will be the formula for appending two numbers. Is the formula for appending two numbers, right? So now let's check how do I do that, right? So for example, let's say I have two numbers. I have two numbers A and B. Now let's read A and B from the user. Let's read A and B from the user. Now I want to append them. Right? So what I want to do here is A equals to A into, right? Let's say if I use 10 and B. Now if B is a single digit number, then it properly appends it. Now you can check. So run this. Let's give A value with any number of digits and B value is 8. Now it will give, I'm not displaying this file, sorry. Yeah, let's say it is some result. Yeah, let me display the result. See out my result. End line. Sorry. Yeah. Now let's run this. Now let us give A value as this and B value as 9. Now you can see it is properly appended. 12, 3, 9. Right? So if you want to append two digits number, use 100 into 100. Now let's run. Now B value should be two digits number. Let's say I'll use 12. Now you can see it is 12, 34, 12 should be the answer. Yes. Right? If you want to append three digits number, do that. So this is where you need to check how many number of digits we have in a B. So how do I get that? How do I get int digits count equals to, how do I get? So I need to do log 10 of B plus 1, 10 plus 1 will give the total number of digits in B, right? And then this one, what I need to do? I need to calculate the power. 10 to the power this number of digits, right? So for that we have a operation like a predefined method called power, right? Now for this, let us give 10 to the power digits count, right? So now you can see the result. Now it will properly append any digits, right? Let's check. Let's give 1245. Now the answer is 1245, right? Let's run this. Let us give 300, 100. Yes, 300, 100, it appends, right? So this is how we need to use counting the number of digits in a number, right? And just appending two numbers. So these are all very, very, very important tricks we should know when we are going for the competitive coding. Okay. So these are all like how you work with the individual digits of a number. Fine. And let's look into the control statements concept, right? I hope everybody knows how to use if else. So if else statement. So we use if and we specify a condition. If it is true, we do something, right? Otherwise, we do something else, right? That means, let me write a simple statements here. Like if we use if a condition, if the condition is true, we do something. See out, yes, right? Else we do something else. Let's say see out, no, end line, yes, right? And let's say my condition is 10 less than 30, yes. Now it will show answer as yes, yes, we are getting yes. If my condition is false, let's say 100 less than 30, condition is false, so that it will go and execute my else part. So that it will go and execute my else part. So this is how we can use the if statement, and you can go with the nested if and everything, right? And let's look into another control statement called switch. So we have a switch statement where we give some value, right? And we will write some case, let's say case 1, and see out, let's say it prints 1 and prints a new line. Yeah, okay, see out, sorry, yes. So let me write a few more, 2, 3, 4 and 5, let's say 4 and 5. Let me write 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so what actually happens here is, if I give the value 1, if I give the value 1, then it will go, and that means whatever the value that we give here, whatever the value that we give here, is this value is compared against to the each case value. Each case value, that means first time it will check, is my value, is it equals to first case value, that is 1. So if so, if yes, then start executing from case 1, case 1. That means what actually it will do is, it will compare the case value with all these, or the switch value with all the case values, and wherever it finds the match, wherever it finds the match, so from there it will start printing. That means that this point is very important. That means it just defines the start, it just defines the starting point of execution. So from there you start executing, from which case I want to start executing, right? For example, here, if I give, if I give my case value as 2, then we are saying that go and start from the case 2, go and start from the case 2. If I give 3, go and start from the case 3. If I give 5, go and start from the case 5. Now you can see, if I give this as a 5, so it will first compare 5, is it equals to this, no, 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 is it equals to this, yes. Now whenever it finds the match sign, then start executing from this. Now you can see I'll get output as 5, I'll get output as 5. Now you can see my answer is 5 here. You can see the result here, right? For example, if I give 3 here, now can you guess what is the output I'll get? If I give 3, what is the output I'll get? If I give 3, what is the output I'll get? Yes, please. Yeah, actually there is a little gap between my and YouTube. Only 3? No. Yeah, 3, 4, 5. Yes, yes, Sunil. So actually, whenever I give 3, which means that you go and start from the case 3. You go and start from the case 3. So it will start from the case 3, then goes to the next case. That means simply it will start from here, go next, and so on. Right? You check the result. The answer is going to be 3, 4, 5. Okay. And what we do is, actually I don't want to go to 4. Once I give 3, just you start from the case 3 and don't go for case 4 or any other cases, right? So for that, what we use is, we use a statement called break. We use a statement called break. So whenever I use break statement, it does not go to the next. Simply the break statement will take the execution control. The break statement takes the execution control out of the switch statement. That means whenever it is 3 is given, first it compares with the 3, not matching, compare with the 2, not matching, then 3, yes, it is matching. Then it will start with this line, execute this, so that I'll get 3 as output, and then break. So it will take out of this, and then you print the new lines, 2 new lines, and then you stop. So my answer is going to be only 3 now. Now you can see, if I run this, yes, I'll get only answer as 3. So like that, for each case I can use a break statement. For each case I can use a break statement, so that every case is executed independently. Every case is executed independently. Now you see, if I give 1, so then it will match, it will find the match here, then it will start executing from this, then break. Then the break directly takes the execution control out of the switch statement. Now the answer is only 1, right? And then if I give 3, then answer is only 3. If I give 4, then answer is only 4. Sorry, the answer is 4. Sorry. Save and run this. Yeah. Now answer is 4. Right? What if I give 44? Please tell me. What if I give 44? Yeah, Megan, nice. What if I give 44? So when I give 44, none of the case values are matching. None of the case values are matching. So no case will become a beginning point. So simply it will come out of this. So no error, nothing. Now see that nothing is printed. Nothing is printed. So no case match with this constant. Okay. And there is a special case called default. There is a special case called default, right? So which is going to execute when none of the case value is matching with this. None of the case value is matching with this. Now you can see, now 44 is not matching with any of these cases. Then the default cases get executes. Then the default case is executed. No match found. Right? So this is how we use switch statement, and you can also see we can use a characters also. Let's say R, right? Let's say A. I can also use something like D. Any character, let's say W, let's say Z, right? So now if I give a character value D here, then it will start with that case D, that is 3. Here we have 3, right? So I'll get 3 as output. Yes. Now if I give R, then the output is going to be 1, right? And if I give something like S, so which is not found in this, so a default is get executes. Yes. Yeah, right. So just here I wanted to tell you one more thing. Default is not compulsory thing. So if default is not mentioned, it does not do anything. We do not do anything if no case is matching, right? And so there are a lot more things to be discussed, but they are not required for this TCS drive. Like that means how many cases we can use, and where should be the default must be positioned, right? Can we write it in the beginning? Can we write between the cases? All those things a little you need to dig into this, right? So, but this for competitive coding, it is not that much required. Okay, and next we have a control statement called looping statements, right? Especially while statement. So how do I use the while statement? We use while with a condition, right? And we write the code to be repeat, a code to be repeat, right? And we write as many lines of code as you want, right? So this is a while statement, and we use a for statement. So for any value, like let's say initialization, or let me take in some I equals to some one I, that means we need to write something like initialization, and then condition, and then modification, and then you write the code to be repeated, right? So now how this will work? First, it will execute the initialization part, right? And then a condition. If the condition is true, it will execute this. And once the execution is done, it will go and do the modification, then check the condition and do this. So both will use for the repeating the code again and again, right? And here yeah, yeah. I hope I'm still in live. Yeah, please give me confirmation. Am I in live? Nandini, anyone, please? Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Meghana. Yeah, thank you, Padmini. Fine. So these are all the things that we use. So with this, let's pick some problem statements and we solve, right? And I hope just give me a confirmation. Uh, are you clear with these basic concepts which need to be compulsory to be learned before we start solving the problems? Is everybody is clear with how to use input output operations? What are the operators, right? Still we will discuss the operators concepts, like bitwise operators is very important. We'll go for that discussing. Before that, we'll solve some problems based on the numbers which are already asked in the TCS NQT. So shall we start solving some problems for today? Yes. Yeah, please, I want everyone to react for this question. Shall we start solving some problems? Just comment as start, sir. Yes, I got response only from the four members. I want a few more. Okay, okay, fine. Let's go ahead. Yeah, let's pick this problem statement. I hope it is already given to you. Yeah, a supermarket price. The problem statement says that a supermarket maintains a price format for all its products. A value n is printed on each product. When the scanner reads the value n on the item, the product of all the digits in the value n is the price of that item, right? And we need to design that application. So here, just a very simple, the input is a value n, and we need to find the product of all the digits. We need to find product of all the digits. Here it is 5 into 2, 10, 10 into 4, 40, 40 into 4, 160. So we need to find product of all the digits. Just we need to find product of all the digits. Now tell me, how do we solve this? It's a very simple problem statement which was asked last year, I guess. So this question was asked last year TCS NQT. Now tell me, how do I solve this? Let me remove all these. Yeah. So what just I always recommend you to go with this. Like first I'm reading n value from the user, and then I always recommend something like read the input value in the main function, and then pass that pass that to some function called solve, right? You can get anything, like let's say find price. Let's create a function called a find price. By passing that input, and then you display the result in the main. That means just I will tell you that. Yeah, so this will, like, that means for smaller problems it will look like why we need to unnecessarily define the functions and everything, but when you are solving the bigger problems, so this approach will simplify your solution. Okay, so let's read the input value in the main function and pass that input value. What are the input data that we read for a problem statement? Pass that to a function. Right now let me define a function here. So find price, right, which is reading n value and returns. So it is also returns one integer product, right? So now the simple thing. So we are passing that input data to the function, and that function will receive the data and do the functionality. That means it will solve the problem and finally returns the answer that we are storing in the result, and that will be displayed as our output. Okay. So now tell me, how do I find the product of numbers? A product of all the digits of a number. Product of all the digits of a number. It's very simple. So if you want to calculate the product of any number digits, let's take 1, 2, 3 as my number. Let's say n value is given as 1, 2, 3. So then what should I do here is I need to extract this number or split this number as last digit, remaining part. Then again from the remaining part, last digit, remaining part. From that also again last digit, remaining part. So until my remaining part becomes 0, until my remaining part becomes 0, we need to keep on repeating this. We need to keep on repeating this, right? And every time this last digit should be multiplied into your answer, right? Initially you take your product equals to 1. So initially what I'll do, 1 into 3, I'll get 3, then this value, then 3 into 2, this 2, then into 1, this 1, right? So totally you will get 6 as output. So this is how we need to find the product of this. So again here, as we discussed in the previous explanations, we need to work with the individual digits of a number. So this, how do I extract? 1, 2, 3 modulus 10. This, how do I extract? 1, 2, 3 division with the 10. And this 12 modulus 10. This is 12 divided by 10. This is 1 modulus 10. And this is 1 divided by 10. So this is keep on should be repeating, right? So let's code this. Let's code this here. Let me take initially my product equals to 1, and then as long as my n is not equals to 0, every time what should I do? My product equals to product into the last digit. How do I get the last digit? How do I get the last digit? N modulus 10 is the last digit, and then restore the n with the remaining part. That's it. And finally you need to return the product. So that's how we solve the problem. That's how we solve the problem. You can check. So we are reading input value, then we are passing that input value for the function. Then we go here, the product is 1 in the beginning. Then as long as n is not a 0, then we calculate product equals to product, existing product into last digit of n. Then you remove the last digit from the n. Then go again check, like as long as n value is not a 0, right? And you can also use a shortcut. Let's first run this. Let's first run this by giving the same input. We have taken 5244. So let's run this. If I give 5244, the answer is 160. Yes. If I run this 123, the answer is 6. If I run this 501, what should be the answer? It should be 0. It should be 0 because product. So 1 into 5, 5 into 0, 0, 0 into 1, 0. Yes, answer is 0. Okay, so this is how we can solve this problem statement. It's very simple. Just finding the product of all the digits of a given number. Clear everyone? Clear everyone? Let me share this code in your channel, Telegram channel. I'll share this code. Fine. And a little change we can do is like here I can directly go with this while n. So I hope everybody knows how the conditions are evaluated. How the conditions are evaluated. Actually, the conditions are evaluated as true for all non-zero, right? And false for 0. That means as long as n value is a non-zero, the condition is evaluated to true. And whenever my n value becomes 0, then my condition becomes false. Then we stop that repetition, right? So the condition can be written like as long as n value is greater than 0 or greater than 0. We can also write while as long as n value not equals to 0, and we can also make it short, simply n. Simply n, right? Like we have multiple options, you can use anything, You can use anything, right? And let's pick another question. Yeah, a new year discount. So this question was also asked in TCS. Please go through this question, please. An e-commerce company plans to give their customers a discount for a new year holiday. The discount will be calculated on the basis of the bill amount of the order placed. The discount amount is the sum of all the odd valued digits in the customer's total bill amount. If no odd digit is present in the bill, then the discount will be zero. So write an algorithm to find the discount for the given total bill amount. Now how we can solve this? If this is the input, so what should be the output? So what are all the odd value digits here? So 5, 1, 7, 9 and 5 are the odd value digits. So the answer is going to be 5 plus 1 plus 7 plus 9 plus 5. So 6, 13. Yeah, it is 26. Yes. So the answer should be 27. Sorry. The answer is 27. Right. I hope it is a very simple one again. Very simple one. Now let me write here. Create another function. Create another function which will also return the answer. And let me say that get discount. Get discount. Let's create a function called this get discount, and which will take a total bill, as input and returns the answer, right? So what I need to do, simply I need to go through all the digits of this number and just add only the digits which are odd value digits, that's it. So again, very same thing. Let's take initially my sum equals to 0, and then while as long as my total bill is not a 0, then extract the last digit. How do I take the last digit? Total bill modulus 10, and then check if this last digit is divisible by 2, is not divisible by 2. If it is not divisible by 2, then say that it is odd. So then you add my sum plus equals to this last digit. That's it. Sum equals to sum plus last digit. And then restore the remaining value of the bill. So total bill equals to, so total bill divided by 10. That's it. And finally return the sum. Got it? That means simply we are keep on extracting. For example, let's say the total bill is 5,799. Let's say this is the total bill, right? Now in this, what we are going to do is we are going to keep on extracting last digit, remaining part. So, and then we check, is this last digit is odd? If odd, then add it to the sum. Add to sum, right? And then from this 7 and 57, and this is also odd, then this is also add to the result, add to sum, then again extract 7 from this, then this is also again odd, then add that to the sum, right? And so on. 5, 0, then odd, as it is odd, add it to the sum, then when it is becoming 0, then you stop the process. That's it. And finally, we are returning the sum. Okay, let's check. Let's check with the same input. So the input here is, let me take the input value here. This is the input, and let me call this function now. Let's say this is total bill. Just let it be n also, no issue. Let it be n also, no issue. But just I wanted to make clear on this. Yeah, then get discount by passing total bill. Yeah, get discount by passing total bill, and that we are displaying it as output. Right now, let me run this. Let me run this. What was the value? It is. Just copy this. Yeah, give that as an input, and the answer is 27. Yes. Now let's give another input. Let's say 5799. Then what should be the answer? 9 plus 9, 18. 18 plus 7. Yeah, the answer is 30. 25 plus 5, 30. Right? Let's say if there are no odd values, let's say my bill was all twos, right? Then the answer is 0. Yes, obviously it is 0 according to the problem statement. You can see. So if no odd digit present, the bill amount should be 0. Got it? So this is how we can solve this problem. Now let me share this code in the channel. Yeah, just I shared that code. Please go through it. Okay. Now let's pick another question. I hope you are following my. Yeah. Hope you are following. Yeah. Let's pick another question. Wow. Yeah. So this is very interesting question. Very interesting question. Read this question, please. A company has a sales record of n products for m days. The company wishes to know the maximum revenue received from a given product of the n products each day. Write an algorithm to find the highest revenue received each day. Now, how do I solve this? Now, for this input, here it says that for 3 days, for 3 days and four products, right? So first product, second product, third product, fourth product, and this is a day one sales record of four products, and this is a day two sales record, and this is day three sales record. And what we are supposed to do is we need to find the highest revenue received each day. That means from the day one, what is the highest revenue? Now here it is 333 is the highest revenue. And from day two, what is the highest revenue? 232. And from this, what is the highest revenue? 764. So this should be the answer, right? Let me check. The answer is 333. Then, yeah, the space is missing here. Yeah, yes, please. So now tell me, how do I solve this? How do we solve this? Anyone, please? How to solve this problem statement? How do I solve this problem statement? I hope you understood the problem statement. Yeah. You try please solving this. Try to solve this problem statement. Please take a screenshot of this problem statement first. Take a screenshot of the problem statement. Yeah, tell me how do I solve this? Anyone please? How to solve this problem? Yes. Anyone? Yeah. Let's again create another function, max revenue. Let's say it does not return anything. We'll print output there itself. Max, yeah, max revenue, right? And it will take number of days and it will take number of products as input, right? So from main, let me create days and products. Let's read days and also the products, right? Anybody shared any solution? Find the max from each day and add to the list. Am I right? Add in the solution. Yeah. So, but how do I maintain? How do I read the data? Everything. Yeah. Let's call this. I don't want to store the result back here. I want to print the result in the function itself, and let's give the function. So, what is the function name? Max revenue. Sorry, it is max revenue, and I will pass days and products. Yeah. Now let's see how do I solve this here. How do I solve? How do I solve? Do this here. Let's calculate something called result every time result is 0, and then I need to create a loop which will run for given number of days. That means in day starting from 1 and day goes till less than or equals to total number of days and day plus plus. That means for each day, what we need to do? We need to read m products. M products. That means let me take a product variable and create another loop which will run for product number of times. That means let's take a count starting from 1 and count less than or equals to total number of products each day and count plus plus. Now every time what should I do? Read the product value. Read the product value. That means see in product. Read the product value and then check. Then check. Is my result? Yeah, the result is also. Let me take this inside this. Yeah, yeah. So if the given product is if the given product is greater than my current result, then you update the result with product. You update the result with product. And once all the products are reading, that means we completed reading all the product details for that particular day, then we print that result. That means max revenue. Let's give, yeah, let's use result only. Yeah, that's fine. That's it. Okay. So, but there is a small problem with this. I will see what happens with this is, let's take this input. Let's take 3, 4, and all these. Yeah, 3, 4. Let me take this input as it is. Copy. Yeah. Now let me call this, and let us give 3 and 4, and my first day values are 100, 199. Oh yeah, 100, 198, 333, and one more is 323. Yes. Now the immediately, that means we have entered the day one revenue, and immediately it will print day one max revenue. Then it is waiting for the second day input values. Second day input values. Right. Let us give the second day input values are 122, 320, sorry, 122, 232, and 221 and 111. Yes. Now you can see day two max revenue is this. So that is immediately printed. And for day three, let us give the same input. Yeah. If I give the same input, now you can see this. So the result is generated, but my output, like this should be the input format and this should be the output format. So what should I do? What should I do? So every time do not display this. So you add them into some array. So let's take an array. Let's take an array of, sorry, answer of how much size, days, many size, because for each day we need to do this, right? And then very simple now. Now for each day, so day count starts from 1. So I'll make it as starting from 0, then goes only till this, so that the same becomes the total number of days it is repeated. And then my answer of day equals to the result. Now the total all days revenue, max revenue, is stored in the answer array, and then you print that answer array. Now for printing answer array, I will use something like auto value in answer. I'm using a for each statement, and then you print see out that value you print with a space. That's it, right? So now you can see directly, now I can give this entire input and I'll get the proper output. Now you see, I'll give this input at 0 0 because it is not running properly. Yeah. So let me run this again. Now you enter individually. So 3 and 4, and then give 100, 198, 198, 333, 323. Yes. First day data is entered, and second day data 122, 212, then 221, 111. Yes. Day 2 data is also entered, and day 3 223, 565, and then 245 and 764. Yes, day 3 data is also entered. Now this is the answer. Right, now you can see from this 333 is the highest revenue, and from this 221 is the highest revenue, and from this 764 is the highest revenue, right? So let's run this for another set of input values. Let's say for 3 days, 5 products. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. And then let's give 8, 1, 4, 5, 1. And then third one, let's say 4, 9, 1, 5, 8. Yes. The first day highest revenue is 5, and second day highest revenue is 8, and third day highest revenue is 9. So answer is 589. Okay, so this is how we can solve this problem, right? So let me share this code also in the Telegram channel. Sorry. Yes. Okay, so we have another yeah, just take this as an assignment, please. You try to solve this. An e-commerce website wishes to find the lucky customer who will be eligible for full value cashback. For this purpose, a number n is to the system. Fed to the system, it will return another number that is calculated by an algorithm. So in the algorithm, the sequence is generated, a sequence is generated in which each number is the sum of the two preceding numbers, and initially the sequence will have a two ones in it. The system will return the nth number from the generated sequence, which is treated as the order ID, and the lucky customer will be the one who has placed that order. That means here we are going to find the order ID from a sequence of numbers generated by using this algorithm, right? And those who got that ID, so they are the lucky customer, right? So for example, if I give input as 8, so we need to find eighth term or eighth element of that sequence, right? And eighth element of that sequence is going to become 21, right? The answer should be 21, right? So this is a very simple problem statement, and which works with a concept of Fibonacci series. Just the problem, it is all about the Fibonacci series, getting nth element of a Fibonacci series, but just they made something like a story, and the problem statement is derived in a different manner. Understood the problem statement? Please take a screenshot of this. Yeah. Understood the problem statement? Yeah. So just it is working on Fibonacci series. We need to find the nth element of the Fibonacci series. Yeah, Chandana, absolutely right. That approach is fine. Yeah, that auto value answer. Yeah, actually, a C++ supports something like this. A for statement, we can use a for statement for each. Let's say we use a variable here, colon, and an array. That means it is going to work something like, for each element of this array, it will repeat the code. For each element of this array, it repeats the code. Code to be repeated. That means For example, an array. I have an array 1, so 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Then what it is going to do is every time it will pick one element from the array. That means it will pick 10 and copies into this variable and execute this code. Then pick next element 20, copy into this variable and execute this code. Next value, copy and execute this code. Copy next element, execute this code. Copy next element, execute this code. Like that till it completes all the elements of that array, right? So but this variable, what are the variable that we specify here, must be created here. Like we create a variable, something like that means if I want to run through an integer array, so we create an int, let's say some value, or let's say some element of some ARR. Then you write this code, so this will be executed. That means for each value of this array, copy into this variable and execute this code. Okay, and here if it is an integer array, we specify this int. If it is a character array, we need to specify this as a character. We specify this as a character, right? And if it is a string array, let's say we are storing a string array, then this should be a string. That means because every time we are copying one element, right, and that element also should be belongs to the same data type. That element also should belongs to the same data type, right? So but C++ provides a solution that if you do not know the data type, if you do not know the data type, simply what you can do is you can mention this as a keyword auto. If I mention the keyword auto automatically replace with the data type of the array. It automatically replaces with a data type of the array. Okay, got it? Chandana, did you get this point? Why did I use auto that like this? Chandana, did you get? Yeah, fine. Okay, so that's all for today. So we solved these three problems. We solved these three problems. And I shared the code. Sorry. I shared the code in the Telegram channel instantly, right? And please go through that code once again and try to solve the other questions which we are going to post in the Telegram channel. Yes, yeah, Sunil, you can do that. Okay, and I hope my team is working on some assessment. So they will be posting assessment link, uh, which is a hacker rank link, and you need to complete that assessment in the hacker rank platform. So to complete that assessment, first you create a hacker rank account with your Gmail account, and just click on the link which is going to be posted in the Telegram channel, and it will redirect to the test, and you complete that test. Okay, so I hope I'm clear with whatever the content that we delivered today. So thank you all for your patience and listening to this session. And again, we'll catch you up in the next session with another content, and we start solving the problems with a difficulty level. Like today, whatever we discussed, they are very basic level. I picked only that number system based questions. Yeah, I shared that answers also. Chandan, I shared the answers. Okay, I'll also share the questions. Fine, no issue. I'll share the questions. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Thank you all. Catch you in the next class. Bye bye. Oh yeah. Before this, any doubts? Yes, please. Any doubts? Okay. Thank you. Bye.